Good morning, traders. Every single morning I work with my incredible traders. Every single Alpha Fibonacci trader who trades Alpha Fibonacci System starts with this chart. We just converted to Dow for one simple reason. Dow has drastically more trades than S&P. So when you're mastering the system, learn and master on Dow and Nasdaq. Dow has on average 5 times more trades, Nasdaq 10 to 20 times more trades than S&P in mini futures, especially in current market conditions. In front of you, institutional chart. In front of you, the chart I use when I work with Wall Street firms, when I work with hedge funds, when I work with hedge fund traders. Because when you trade multi-million, multi-billion dollar position with the Alpha Fibonacci system, by looking at this chart, you're extremely clear. This is vertical institutional rally that remains intact. Every single day, you must understand what institutions do. If you trade your micro account, if you trade your small account, you must obey institutional power. You don't trade against Goldman. So when you read in the news that the biggest profits in 40 years in the top institutions and Goldman just moved the office to Miami, you must understand what institutions do. We discuss this in details in classes. So when you understand institutional tax structure, if you understand what a tax haven Florida is, this is the reason when institutions opening up offices in Miami and the biggest vertical rally remains intact. What does this mean? This means the most challenging markets on record are here to stay. Understanding and obeying this, choosing your highest quality trades, is the most important part of your trading. This morning Dow created historical high. This morning price reminded you again and again. Institutional trading range remains long. Institutional trading range remains intact. This institutional bullish rally is here to stay. Understanding this, showing you, you must choose your trade drastically more carefully. You cannot gamble. You cannot be trigger-happy cowboy. You must be drastically more prepared. Here is your retail chart, part of your checklist. You're looking at very dangerous places to trade in blue circle versus you looking at the best day trading entry points. If I convert this chart to 5 minutes, this is the power of the system. What is it showing you? What do you understand? You're buying at key levels. You're buying as low as possible at support. Here, you are not in front of the screen. This lasted hours. You come in front of the screen when price giving you pullback, 31,300 level. You come to the screen when price giving you pullback, but this is drastically more aggressive than buying the bottom on March 5th with institutions. So when brokers haven remains in a play for 40 plus hours, when ultimate brutal chunk remains intact. But you knew this many days in advance. You practicing your golf swing. You playing a whole lot of tennis. As my incredible students share, those who are successful with Alpha Fibonacci System do not sit and stare at the screen. Do not enter into brick wall. Do not buying reversal zone. Time and time again. This will last years. What is the best buy? What is the best point of entry? At historical high. Is it conservative? Of course not. Nothing conservative about buying historical high. Nothing. But it's the only option. Because you are riding Goldman, BlackRock, JP Morgan train. You understand Alpha Fibonacci checklist. You are not trading against JP Morgan, Goldman, are you? You are not trigger happy cowboy. This is Dow this morning with the Alpha Fibonacci system. For the trading room, I convert everything to 1 minute chart. It shows you the simplicity. It shows you the power. The bold green line identifies clear option only buy. Bullish rally right now overextended. Price is stuck. It's massive junk. When retail rally overextended, this junk can last for hours. If you decided to trade this morning, you are done. You finished with your trade. Buying historical high is the only option. Bullish rally remains intact. So do self-assessment. Do self-audit, pretty please. How many shorts have you done since March 23rd? Tell me. How many? Here are my incredible traders. Here's King, killing it. 40 points on S&P. So what does this show? What does this share? First week in the course. What did King understand very, very clearly? He rides institutional power. He rides institutional train. This is email from King from the first class. First week in the course. But as King says, I feel such a newbie as a child. Trading is far beyond my expectations. I open up your eyes to institutional trading. Because that's when you ride the power. That's when you trade with quality. This is magnificent. This is stunning effort. As King says, I know so little, feel like a baby. And this is coming from very experienced trader. Fib levels, yes and yes and yes and yes. Trading far above expectations. King trades at key Alpha Fibonacci levels. As King shares, never got institutional perspective. Been trading for 8 years. This is when your trading shifts to drastically different level. So please remember that. 1 week in the course, everything changes when you think as King does. Choosing your highest quality trade. Theo, my hero, stating very powerful statements. Trading with those powerful institutional levels is going with the market flow of the smart money. Being able to draw these levels manually as taught in the course is winning battle before it's won. it's ever fought. Stunning. Trading at key levels. Jason, my friend for life. I work with Jason after classes. Jason loves metals. Jason trades silver. Silver always moves. Jason loves winning tennis championships. Jason focuses on playing tennis, spending very little time in front of the screen. Every single one of these traders, different experience, different account, different background. But at the core of every single one of these traders is institutional perspective, institutional power, and winning the battle before it's even fought. Correct? Braulio says on the videos in Module 3 and 4. Class after the close of the trading room. That's it. Do not ever place trade after the fact. Identify your key entry points before it plays out. Identify institutional trends and trade with Goldman, JP Morgan, BlackRock, Power. Here's a Black Monday, March 8th. On the news, it's Black Monday. On the chart, what do you see? You see Alpha Fibonacci support remains intact. It's the end of the minor trend. Dow rallying 1,000+ points, but you never hear it on the news. Never, ever, ever. Institutions buying on the way down. This key support remains respected. Dow keeps rallying. Dow keeps holding this support, but you never hear this on the news. This is buying on the way down. Institutions trading someone else's money. Institutions averaging down, up. Market crashes, but institutions buying again. Oh my goodness, because institutions can afford to be negative for days, weeks and months. Institutions trading someone else's money. This last days, buying is on. You know, buying levels months in advance. This is what plays out at the key levels next. March 12th, March 13th, vicious buying is on. So when market crashes, bullish rallies are spectacular. But you never hear it on the news. On the news is panic, on the news is negativity. Vicious buying is on. Started first week in March. So when bullish rally picking up this steam and buyers stepping in with vengeance, you're riding institutional train at the bottom. This is Dow during the worst weeks in the market. Do you see the crash? Tell me, do you? It's a spectacular reminder of the importance of trading with institutions. It's a spectacular reminder of turning off the panic and negativity. This was a start. This was easy day trading for you. Hundreds of trades flying on Nasdaq. Hundreds of trades flying on Dow every single day. This was exact same thing on S&P. Identical. Because a crash, because a rally. But you need to know Alpha Fibonacci entry points. You must obey the rules. You never hear this on the news. On the news it's a Black Monday. On the chart it's a rally. This last days. It is so much easier to trade someone else's money. It is so much easier to average down with someone else's money. This kept playing out since early March. All the details in Thursday long-term institutional class. So when historical reversals picking up this theme, you knew reversals on many days, weeks and months in advance. And that's where historical week starts it from. Do you remember S&P at 2200? You never heard good news in the news. You only heard panic, horror, and negativity. Spectacular opportunity to buy for big money. You're buying with them. You are not trading against them. This is the worst week in the market. This is the early March. This is the start of the rally. But you knew this many, many days, many weeks in advance. This is what S&P looked like at the start of sell-off. This was the bottom 2200 level. But you knew this in the month of February. You knew this months ahead. You never heard good news first week in March, second and third, but you saw it on your chart. Because you are brilliant, intelligent, strategic trader. You're riding institutional power. You're trading your own money. You absolutely must obey the rules and never ever ever trade randomly on the news, because if trading on the news worked, every person on the planet would be Bill Gates. If trading on the news worked, you would be shorting this rally. Correct? This is S&P and Dow during the worst market conditions, and now there is no more institutional bottom. Does not exist. There is only historical high. Obeying the rules in these market conditions is absolutely critical and crucial. There is no more hundreds of trades per day. Institutions holding longs and adding to your longs. You are only in front of the screen when market giving you key entry points, but you know this ahead. It's a very different trading. Trading March 2021 versus trading March 2020. Correct? There is nothing in common between buying the bottom versus buying the top. This was the bottom. This was spectacular. This is the top. You are not staring at the junk. Your only option to buy historical high. It's a very aggressive trading. Ultimate knowledge is required. Ultimate discipline is essential. So if you can manage this most challenging markets on record, everything else will be a breeze. You are only in front of the screen at highest quality levels. You are not babysitting the junk. You are riding institutional power. You are trading with institutions at key day trading levels. On any chart you choose to trade, do not overcomplicate trading. That's it. Right now, there is zero reason to buy. Right now, you are at brand new historical high. Only if price will give you powerful pullback, you will become interested. Shorting against institutional train is gambling. It's a vertical rally, ladies and gentlemen. We're diving much, much deeper. So when the price is giving you bearish pullback and you decide to short, it is simply retail trading. It is not riding institutional train. But at the current levels, it is the only option. Powerful pullback is critical. Only retail trading. Every pullback against institutions. Obey and understand that. That's it. That's the Alpha Fibonacci system on S&P and Dow in the last year to right now. So when we're discussing with my incredible students that more and more institutions opening up their offices in Florida, it's for very good reason. So when we're discussing with my incredible traders, what's playing out right now, do you remember that? It's a key trade that reached key targets. So the only option right now to monitor the powerful pullback, the only option right now is short. What is the problem with a short? It's again bullish Goldman train. So the strategic intelligent trader, would you touch the short? It's a retail trade. It's not institutional trade. It is essential you obey and understand that. That's the ultimate precision, that's the ultimate power. I simply ask you to obey the rules. I simply ask you to remember your key target. As vicious buying remains on, do you see this on your chart? Another junky retail short. Another ultimate precision of the Alpha Fibonacci system. Another vicious institutional long. That's the market, ladies and gentlemen. The only problem, we are at historical high. At historical high, it's a very different trading. March 2021 versus March 2020 have nothing in common. Between buying with institutions, institutional bottom. When news is blaring horror, institutions enjoying the ride. This is institutional historical high. There is no more hundreds of trades per day. This is your brilliant mind. This is your ultimate sniper's mentality. This is your ultimate quality trading. That's it. Do not overcomplicate the market. Bullish rally remains intact. You're working with your key checklist. You're making an effort. You are obeying the rules, as my brilliant traders share. So if you decide to trade oil, you are a very powerful trader. It has drastically higher volatility. And that remains the key. And that's the core. All the shorting is junky retail pullbacks. That's it. do not overcomplicate trading. That's what price does every single time. But you knew this before it happened. That's the power of the system. No matter if you day or position trade, choice is yours. So with my incredible traders, we are off to long-term institutional class, where traders identify what and how institutions trade on any instrument on any time frame. Class every Thursday. All videos in modules 3 and 4. Class starts at 11:45 this morning. So when you join us, as many students do in Australia, in Middle East, and Europe, you don't have to come to live classes. You can view videos. In front of you, multiple traders who have been complete beginners. And after many years of struggling, Brad was able to go from $10 an hour to $3,500 a day. Emmanuel brought his best friend and his wife to the course. Carlton trading for hedge fund. Ken, listen to their stories. Cryptocurrencies. Richard, retirement account from 2,000 to more than 6,000 a week. David trading multiple instruments, all of this on the podcast. And when you look at students' performance and when you look at students' emails, you can be one of the students. I look forward to receiving email from you. I'm simply asking you to make an effort. Choose from the best package appropriate for you. If you can come to classes, view videos. If you would like to join private mentoring, speak with me. I will hold your hand in the process. I will work with you one-on-one in addition to all live classes and trading room. Thank you, traders, so much. Any questions for me? Please do not hesitate to contact me. 925-257-4298 or info@fibinstitute.com. Thank you, traders, so much.